Let me know if you can relate to this. You're playing a game, and as you go through it, you just can't help but think how you would change things around. Maybe tweak the difficulty, fix some annoying mechanics, or just add some cool new features. Maybe it's just me and my game designer brain, but I can't help but think, man, if they just changed this one thing, it would be so much better. And because of that, I've always been fascinated by ROM hacks. Especially Pokémon ROM hacks, because holy shit, the community behind them is insane. We are talking about hundreds of hacks, from Game Boy Classics to even Switch titles. Some of them focus on quality of life improvements, making games just smoother to play, while others go all out, creating entirely new experience, while using the base games just as a foundation. With so many hacks coming out literally every month, keeping up with them is basically impossible. But over the years, I've played quite a few of them, starting all the way back with Pokémon Quartz. Yeah, remember that fever dream? So, today I want to share some of my favorites. I'm Pedro, and let's talk about some of the best Pokémon ROM hacks out there. Sometimes you don't really need a complete overhaul, just a few tweaks to make the originals just play a little better. These quality of life hacks smooth out rough edges, cut down on tedious mechanics, and bring in modern convenience so the classics still feel great to play even today. First up, we've got Pokémon Recharged Emerald by Jaizu. This is basically Emerald, but supercharged with modern features. If you're looking for the definitive way to play Emerald in 2025, this is it. It keeps the core experience intact while adding a ton of improvements. You get following Pokémon, AGMs moves that don't require to actually teach them, working more like a passive ability, and built-in difficult modes, including Nuzlocke. Plus, smaller quality of life tweaks, like Premier Balls being available in shops, and cut trees staying gone after you chop them down. If you're gonna play Emerald today, this is a damn good way to do it. And from the same creator, there is Pokémon Recharged Yellow. It's got all the same quality of life upgrades as Recharged Emerald, but this one recreates Kanto using the Emerald engine, but with a ton of extras. It's got animated sprites, as you'd expect, and has color variations for Pokémon. Even Jess and James popping up like in Let's Go Pikachu. Oh, and remember that old urban legend, the one with Mew under the truck? It's actually real here, no Game Shark required. Recharged Yellow is basically the third version of Fire Red and Leafy Green that we never got. Then we have Pokémon following Renegade Platinum. Yeah, it's a mouthful. But that's because it's a mix of two legendary ROM hacks. Renegade Platinum by Drayano and Following Platinum by Mikalan98 and Edstra. They were combined together by... oh my god, I'm gonna butcher this. And they were combined together by Shenquaret Art. With that, we've got every Pokémon up to Gen 4 obtainable in the wild. Updated training battles, the fire type, and no more trait evolutions. And, of course, your Pokémon follows you around, just like Heart Gold and Soul Silver. This is hands down one of the best ways to play Platinum today. Speaking of overlooked gems, if you ever played the Pokémon trading card game on the Game Boy Color, you need to check out Pokémon TCG Generations by Paperfire88. This is a quality of life hack of the Pokémon trading card game for the Game Boy, as I just said. It replaces almost all the original cards with Pokémon from Generations 1 to 9, updating their attacks, resistances, and abilities, and there's even 26 new cards beyond that. And even if you are not a super fan of the TCG, this is a cool one hack to check out. Alright, we've covered some great hacks that refine the original games, but what about the ones that go all out and create something entirely new? Now, let's talk about full-blown new experiences, not just upgrades. First up, Pokémon Cyan by Crunch. This ROM hack had everything going for it. An original tropical region, a decision-based storyline, something even the mainline Pokémon games don't have, and some of the best Fakemon ever made. And yet, it was abandoned in 2016. A tragedy, really. But as far as it goes, it's worth every second. This one is a Fire Red hack, but the game takes place in the Cilia Archipelago, a beautiful island chain that immediately sets itself apart from the usual Pokémon regions of the time. It introduces new mechanics like a side quest system, berry trees, new moves and abilities, and even Pokémon from Generation 4 and 5. But like I said, the biggest standout are the Fakemon. I'm usually skeptical about Fakemon, but the designs in Cyan are chef's kiss. They look like they belong in official games, and the sprites are on point. And I'm telling you, I'm picky as hell about Fakemon, so much so that this is the only one in this entire list that features some. Even though it never got a proper ending, it's still worth playing as it goes up to the 7th gen. Maybe, just maybe, if enough people check it out, the creator might get inspired to finish it. Almost a decade later. Hey, dreaming is free! Ever wondered what Pokémon Black and White would have looked like if they had been released on the Game Boy Color? No? Well, neither did I until I played Pokémon Black and White 3, Genesis, by Azure Keys. This Pokémon Crystal hack has a full demake of the Unova region, complete with an original story that serves as a sequel to Black and White and Black and White 2. But what really sells it is how authentic it feels. The GBC style, the pixel art, and even the chiptune remixes of Unova's music, it all blends together perfectly with the 8-bit aesthetic. Gameplay-wise, it's stacked with modern features. The physical, special split, the fair type, usable TMs, a move reminder, and a solid 2052 Pokémon from across the first 5 generations. Oh, and running shoes. It truly feels like a lost Pokémon game from an alternate timeline, one where the Game Boy Color stuck around just a little bit longer. It's like Unova was always meant to be 8-bit. Pokémon Brown is a legendary red hack. Originally released over 20 years ago, it was one of the very first Pokémon ROM hacks to make waves in the community. And now it's back and better than ever, in the 20th anniversary edition by the Rainbow devs. Set in the new region, Brown completely rewrites Pokémon Red's story, introduces an overhauled map, and packs in a massive 231 Pokémon from multiple generations. The updated graphics breathe new life into the game, while new characters and a tighter difficulty curve make it feel like a whole new experience. If you are looking for a piece of a ROM hack history that it still holds up today, this is a must-play. It's like revisiting an old friend, one that got a well-deserved glow-up. And made by the same team behind Pokémon Brown's 20th anniversary edition, Pokémon Prism takes the classic GBC-era formula and goes wild with it. This crystal hack not only introduces a brand new story, but also expands the world with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 different regions to explore, including one from Pokémon Brown, making this a spiritual sequel of sorts. This one adds a bunch of ambitious features like trainer customization, bring new trainers and gym leaders, updated graphics, and even Pokémon from newer generations. If Game Freak had continued to make games for the Game Boy Color, this is exactly what they would look like. It is still technically in beta, but don't let that stop you. It already plays like a fully finished game, and every update just makes it better. It's ambitious as hell and I love it. If there's just one ROM hack that feels like it could have been an official release, it's Pokémon Gaia by Spherical Ice. This one pops up in almost every list of best ROM hacks, but that's for a reason. This isn't just another Fire Rack mod with a few tweaks. No, Gaia is a full-fledged Pokémon experience with so much polish it puts some of Game Freak's own releases to shame. The game takes place in Arbutus, a region rich with history and ancient ruins, and a group of cult-like archaeologists is trying to awaken a massive force buried beneath the region, and it's up to you to stop them. Sounds pretty standard, right? Well, what sets Gaia apart is the sheer amount of features crammed into it. We're talking about Pokémon from Kanto all the way to Kalos, meaning you can build some truly wild teams. The game also brings in the physical special split, Mega Evolution, new and updated moves, bring new items and abilities, fairy type, reusable TMs, and an original music that perfectly fits the GBA aesthetic. The difficult curve is balanced but challenging, with trainers that actually make smart decisions. So, no more trainers randomly spawning Growl. Unlike many ROM hacks that just focus on the main story, Gaia gives you plenty of reasons to explore Arbutus, complete with side missions to uncover hidden lore. There's a reason this game is one of the highest rated Pokémon ROM hacks ever. Did you ever look at old beta screenshots of a game and wonder, what if it was actually that version? Well, that's exactly what Pokémon Gold and Silver 97, Reforged by Rue, based on a previous one by Level 3, is a love letter to an alternate timeline where Pokémon Gold and Silver turn out very different. This crystal hack is based on the infamous Space World 97 demo of Pokémon Gold and Silver that surfaced in the Giga Leak, or Terra Leak, I don't remember which features a ton of scrapped Pokémon designs, locations, and just a radically different map layout. Instead of Johto, the game takes place in the Nihon region, a fusion of early Johto concepts and parts of the entirety of Japan that were left on the cutting room floor. So, what's different? Well, for starters, the Pokémon roster. You'll see a bunch of Generation 2 Pokémon with their original beta designs, including freaky versions of Girafarig, Pichu, and Politoed. There are also some Pokémon that never made into the final games, like Kotora, a tiny electric tiger. The game also brings back a few moves and mechanics from the beta version. It's a fascinating what-if scenario that feels both nostalgic and brand new at the same time. If you ever wondered what Pokémon Gold and Silver could have been in a parallel universe, this is your answer. Alright, let's be real, Pokémon games are great and all, but once you know the story, the challenge is kinda gone. Enter Pokémon Emerald Rogue by Pokabi, a game that completely flips the script and turns Emerald into a roguelike adventure. If you are into randomized challenge, strategic decision making, and permadeath runs, this is the hack for you. So how does it work? Well, instead of following a set story, each playthrough generates a unique run. You start at a hub area, pick up a starter, and then set off on a series of procedurally generated routes. Each route gives you random wild encounters, trainers, and items, meaning no two runs are ever the same. After a few routes, we'll take on a gym battle, against a randomly chosen leader, with a fully customized team based on their type specialty. Win and you move on, lose, back to the start. But here's the kicker, as you progress through more runs, you unlock new features in the hub, allowing you to fine-tune future attempts. Eventually you can even recruit Pokémon from previous run, unlock better items, and even adjust the game's difficulty. The deeper you go, the more intense the challenge gets, culminating into a final battle against a completely randomized champion. The game also includes Pokémon up to Generation 9, Mega Evolution, and multiple difficult settings, so you can tweak the experience to your liking. If you're a fan of roguelikes like Hades, Slay the Spire, or The Binding of Isaac, Emerald Rogue is basically that, but with Pokémon. It's one of the freshest takes to the formula in years, and an absolutely must-play if you're tired of the traditional Pokémon gameplay. But of course, ROM hacks are constantly evolving, and some upcoming projects are already shaping up to be game changers. Here are some of them. One of the most promising ones is Pokémon Coral by Coral Dev. Kinda writes itself. A crystal hack that has been in development for quite some time, and with demos available to download. It features an entirely new region, a complete original soundtrack, and plenty of optional areas and events to explore. With Pokémon from every generation, 6 different starter options, and all the expected modern upgrades, like the physical and special split and rebalanced moves and abilities, it already looks impressive. But what truly makes Coral stand out is its stunningly charming revamped graphics, that give it a unique identity while still feeling distinctly Pokémon, all running at 60 FPS. Keep an eye on Coral's dev socials if you want to stay updated, links on the description. Another hack that has caught my attention is a yet-to-be-named project by Celeste, where he's porting the Generation 5 graphics engine into Pokémon Platinum. Yes, you heard that right, a Generation 4 game running with Gen 5's visuals, and it looks absolutely incredible. And on top of that, it features following Pokémon and tons of new areas and events that expand Sinnoh even further. This is easily one of my most anticipated ROM hacks, and if you're hyped as I am right now, following Celeste on Twitter is a must to keep up with updates. Again, links on the description. And there you have it, some of the best Pokémon ROM hacks out there, each bringing something unique to the table. Whether you want an open-ended experience or a Game Boy Color remake of the Unova region, these games prove that the Pokémon community is insanely creative. And if any of these caught your eye, check the links in the description for more information and where to download the patch files. Remember, you need to patch them into the correct base ROM yourself, because you know, legal reasons. And of course there are tons of other great ROM hacks out there, but these are the ones that really stood out the most to me over the years. But now I want to hear from you. Have you played any of these? Are there any ROM hacks that deserve a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you've been watching my videos, I'm moving to Montreal in the next days and I have no idea when or if I'll be able to upload again. So, in case this one is the last one, thank you all for the support over the past couple of years. I've been Pedro from Nintendo, signing off.